Hey everyone, this is the Millionaire Hippies podcast with your host, Boom Shikha, where we chat about spirituality, business, and health. We all want to live self-actualizing, fulfilling lives with joy, prosperity, and gratitude. Let's go on this beautiful journey together.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode in my podcast, The Millionaire Hippie. Again, my name is Boom Shikha, and I'm so grateful that you're choosing to spend this time with me to listen and learn from me. In today's episode, I'll be speaking about synchronicity. Now, the more time I spend meditating, the more time I spend being still and silent, the more time I spend living my life purpose, listening to my gut, listening to my heart, the more synchronicity arrives into my life. Now, it's really interesting because I have seriously examples from every single day of my life now where I will say something to myself just in my mind randomly and it'll come true. For example, I'll be sitting there and I'll have an appointment around 9 p.m. for something. It's just an example. And I'll think to myself, I'm so tired. I just feel like I want to go to sleep early tonight. I wonder if there's any way to cancel this appointment I have at 9 p.m. Now, sometimes I'll actually email the person and they'll say, oh my God, I was going to email you or I was going to message you because I can't make it tonight. Can we move our appointment over to tomorrow or day after? Or on other times, the person will email me before I could even say anything and say, I'm sorry, Shikha, could we move the appointment? I'm not feeling well tonight or I have something that came up. It would be really, really helpful to me if we could do our appointment tomorrow or day after. Now, this is just a small, teeny tiny example, but this kind of stuff happens to me every single day. Every single day, I have some moment of synchronicity where I'll be sitting there and thinking to myself that I want something or I need something or that I would love for this to happen, and it happens. A lot of times it will not happen, and that means in my mind I actually assume it to mean that I'm not supposed to have it happen right now, or maybe it'll happen in the future sometime, or it's not something that's supposed to be good for me, so I just ignore it. Because if it's not going to happen, if it doesn't happen, there's a reason for it in my mind at least. And so in every case, whatever happens, I am at peace with myself because either I've made it happen or I know it's not happening for a specific reason. This gives me peace because I am just grateful for every single thing that's happening or not happening in my life. Because nothing is good or bad, and you know this. I've spoken about this before, other people speak about it. No choice is good or bad. Nothing that happens is good or bad. Everything is happening is good, is just neutral. There's nothing good or bad about it because in hindsight you could go back and say, oh, this good thing was actually bad, or you can go and say this bad thing was actually good. There are no choices that are bad or good. Everything is just neutral. Everything is just happening. It's only us that labels it to be, good or bad. So this synchronicity is something that I've noticed happens and has been happening in other people's lives as well as soon as they start meditating and living in the moment. As soon as they stop labeling things as good or bad, and as soon as they just start living in the moment, grateful for every single moment. I've had friends tell me that they've had a lot of different synchronicity moments happen in their life. For example, they were hanging out with someone and all of a sudden they got a message from someone else saying something about this person, warning them about this person, and all of a sudden this person my friend realized that they shouldn't be hanging out with this individual anymore because of this message that they got at the right moment, and they were able to unentangle themselves from this person who they weren't supposed to be around. Now, it doesn't happen exactly like that sometimes, and that's the reason we want to live in the moment and we need to be aware of every single moment, because if you're not present in the moment, you will miss all of these signals that are coming at you. You're going to miss all of these signs that are coming at you. You're going to miss all of these messages that are coming from the universe at you about all of the different things going on in your life. What happens is that most of us spend our time being not in the moment. We're either looking towards the future or we're looking towards the past. We don't actually live in the present moment. And that means that we're being facetious. We're not actually living the way we're supposed to. We're living in this dreamland of the future or the past. And in that dreamland, the universe cannot send you messages about the present. If you're not living in the present moment, you're not going to pay attention to all these signs that are coming at you. You won't even notice them. Someone could be right in front of you doing a dance, trying to warn you, and because you're so distracted and because you're so in your head thinking about the future or about the past, you don't even think about what's going on in front of you. You don't even pay attention to what's going on around you. And I know lots of people like that in my life who are so distracted, who are always distracted by either music or books or something like that. They're always so distracted in the present moment. They're always trying to run away from the present moment somehow that they never actually pay attention to what is going on around them. You could ask them, did you remember that you passed by this house that was burning? And they would say to you, there was a house burning? I walked past a house that was burning? And that is how unaware they are of the world around them. They're just so unaware of what is going on around them that they have no idea what's going on in the physical world. And therefore, if you don't have any ideas about the physical world, it's going to be extremely hard for you to be aware of the non-physical, the ethereal, the magical, this world that we live in that is not physical. And so the main step in order to build synchronicity into your life, in order to build these random amazing coincidences into your life, is to remember that you need to stay in the moment. Come back to the present moment. Be still in the present moment. Be silent in the present moment. Be aware of the present moment. Be aware of what is going on around you. And stay here. Notice everything that's going on around you. Be aware of every single thing. Now, as soon as you do that, as soon as you become silent and still and aware, you'll start getting all of these signals from everywhere. At first, it's going to be like your gut is telling you something, or your sixth sense is telling you something. Or maybe it'll be that this individual that you really trust in your life will come and tell you these things. And because you trust them, you believe them, you're going to act upon it. But everything is going to start synchronizing, and you're going to get all of these messages from everywhere around you. All of these strangers and friends and relationships will come and tell you things. Your family will come and tell you things. Random things on your Facebook newsfeed will actually tell you things. You'll be walking down the street and you'll see a billboard that's going to tell you a message. So you're going to see all of these things everywhere, and you're going to become aware of it, and you're going to be able to use it in your life to enhance your life. Because you'll start getting messages about what you're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be not doing, where you're supposed to be living, where you're supposed to be not living, what you're supposed to be doing with your life, what is your life purpose all about, where should you go, what should you eat, and so many other things. And all of this wouldn't happen if you weren't living in the present moment. So I really implore you to take the first step and start living in the present moment by either meditating or just sitting in silence and stillness every morning, or at least at some point during the day. And now I understand it's extremely hard. You're a busy individual. It's hard to find even silence during the day. You're surrounded by people all the time. But this is important for your life. And I'm not even just joking about this. I'm not saying it randomly. It's actually extremely important. If you want to realize where you're supposed to be going, where your life is supposed to be going, where you're supposed to be moving to, what you're supposed to be doing, if you want to be aware of everything and if you want to receive these messages, you need to start living in the present moment. And you need to start doing that right now. I've written this post in the past, and I've said this in the past. It's so important for you to live in the present moment. If you don't, you're literally killing yourself in every single moment. Because you're not living truly up to the max of what you're supposed to be living at. You're not living up to your potential at all. And you're basically dying little by little on the inside. You might not really notice it on the outside because you have all these numbing techniques you're using, maybe drugs or alcohol or shopping or whatever else might be, sugar, junk food. But you are dying by little on your soul side. And that's something that is that's not something that you can go back from. So you really, really need to be careful. You really need to start living in the moment as soon as possible by the practice of silence and stillness. So I hope that this helps you a little bit. I hope that this is a forewarning to you so that you can start living in the present moment and start bringing synchronicity into your life again. So you can get all of these messages that the universe really, really wants to send to you. The universe wants you to have all these messages. The universe wants to send these messages to you. We're the ones who are blocking it. So if you want to unblock yourself and start receiving these messages, start living in the present moment as soon as possible. So I hope that this helps you. Again, my name is Shikha. And if you guys are interested, you can join my free Facebook group, The Millionaire Hippie. If not, I'll talk to you guys the next time around in the next episode filled with new information. Until that point, I say goodbye to you guys.